Hello goddesses, and welcome to another Simples, and today we're going to be doing a Saran wrap. I have two polishes. Now they can either be matching polishes of the same tone, so two pastels, two dark colours, or they can be a pale shade of one colour and a darker shade of the same colour. But today I'm going for a colour clash because I like that, and I am using one of the new Barry M jellies, which is called Olive. It's a bit of a putty colour, and it's actually very similar to OPI Skull and Gloss Bones, so interested to see what that looks like. And this is the orange I usually use for nail art. It's SE orange, it's obvious. So it's called a Saran wrap because usually it involves Saran wrap or cling film. I'm a bit of a cheat. I use bubble wrap because my cling film is downstairs, I'm upstairs, and there's always loads and loads of bubble wrap in the nail room. So when we get going, I'm going to have taken this ball of bubble wrap. I'm going to have it about that size, and that's when I'm going to start using it on my nails. So what have I done so far? Well, I have done base coat, and then I have done 2 coats of the Barry M jelly, and I've put a layer of Posh on the top. Now, I don't think there's any received wisdom as to whether a Saran wrap should have a layer of top coat in between the two colours. I think you should, for a reason that we'll come on to in a little while. So this for me is one of the simplest ways of smushing two polishes together. You get a gorgeous effect. So let's see how we go. So all I do with my polish, and we'll start it on the thumb, is load my brush as I usually would, and then put a blob on my nail. Okay, blob doesn't have to be very artful. And what we're going to do with our rounded up wadded piece of bubble wrap, cling film, whatever, is just start to move that polish around the nail. Okay, now you can see straight away there that there's a bit of an echo where the first blob went. That's because I was talking and it started to dry, so just bear that in mind. We'll miss out the deformed nail because it's just not very nice, and let's do a blob on the middle finger. We'll do this blob though a bit smaller than the one that we did on the thumb, just so you can see the difference that makes. And again, let's move it around. We'll do the next nail with a fairly good sized dollop. And by now you've got quite a lot of polish on your bubble wrap, which means this is where your nails start to look really good, because if you can see that ring finger, the polish has moved around a lot better. Let's just do the little finger, and then we'll go back and we'll sort out the other ones. So again, it's wadded and it's moved around. So let's go back to this middle finger then. That just needs a bit more orange to it. So let's pop another blob on, and then let's move it round the nail and try and get it in all the nooks and crannies. Okay, and then the thumb, let's see if we can just cover that patch with some of what's on our bubble wrap. Not too bad. So one of the things I wanted to show you is what can happen when you put too much polish on your nail. So I'm going to leave those 3 as they are because I quite like them, and I'm going to deliberately put too much of the orange on my thumb. Okay, so now, and this is quite a common thing because you can be a bit heavy-handed when you start doing these. It's like, oh my god, that's gone very orange, where's my base polish? So this is what you do. You get another piece of bubble wrap, a clean piece, and you get your original polish, and you put a blob of the original polish on top of the mesh you've just made. Wad up your bubble wrap and just mix the first bit back in. You'll see this a little bit better when I put the photos in the post, but it's actually because you've got the colours in a different order, it creates a slightly different effect as well. So I was talking at the start that I always put top coat on before I put my second polish. Reason I do that is because, again, if you go wrong, you can use acetone to try and lift some of that top colour up. Sometimes it's just that you've got a little bit heavy-handed, or there's just too much in one area, and using a little bit of acetone and either your bubble wrap or a nail brush or a dotting tool or a cotton bud, you can just lift enough off for it to be sorted. So finally I'm going to do my deformed nail, and then we will be virtually done. Simples. What we're going to do next, now I go off camera, I'm going to put a layer of Posh on top of this, because the addition of top coat makes a massive difference. I'm going to show you in the post how it looks with and without top coat, and then usually I would probably do something on top of this as well. It's one of those great manis that day one you can wear your base polish, day two do your Saran wrap, day three stamp over it, add a stud, a little bit of nail art, some dots, whatever. So that's it for now. Ta-da! Oh, that's almost in focus. And I'll see you in a little while with the post. Bye for now.